Norbert disconnected due to tech issues, and then we couldn't get him back on. Slacks opens it up here for the pistol round. The USP headshot already rings out as World.BET. It's out of here. Bomb to be picked up now. Oh, not again.
Uh-oh. It seems like our feed has died. This is awkward, boys.
Damn it, at the start of the map. Really quickly try to see if it's not, so we're gonna have to throw things once again to a quick break. Very sorry about this, guys. There are some serious technical issues rolling today, but we'll be back in just a minute to bring you the rest of the action.
It's back. It's back.
Oh, it's back. Okay, 2 seconds.
It just came back that second.
There we go.
Seen the end of the pistol.
Perfect.
Spoilers, but alternate one.
No, we're back on. Don't worry about it. Nothing's working for us today, Dean. Like, the universe is working again right now. I'm convinced Gaben sat there on a laptop going, better be watching the Starlander stream. Let's plunge all the others into darkness.
UCC.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Oh, is Starlander? Starlander's not on it this time, is it?
Was during the last map. Sure,
oh, was it?
Yeah, they had the same technical issues as us. The Steam servers weren't working. Apparently, the big game started at 9:30, finished at like 3.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, so it's still on.
Like,
yeah, they've been delayed hugely. It's just the Steam just doesn't want to work today.
Yeah, Ents versus FaZe is currently still on. I mean, that game in comparison to this one is nothing though.
Of course.
We have a much more entertaining game of CS right here for you guys. So forget about it. Stay here and watch Cressy kill people through smoke with 10 health. Up against an eco though, not too impressive, but at least making sure that his team will be able to close this round out.
Indeed, relatively cleanly as well. Only the one weapon. Passive. He is sitting on the A-bomb site. Seen happen before. Reminiscent of the Stown performance. Blanked out from toilets and 2. Since it finds the kill, doesn't want to hit that. Risk your teammates falling in the meantime. The 2-0 alternate aTTaX looking good, feeling good. Already one map under their belt. This could be a huge round. If they can propel themselves into an early start, Winstrike may just fall apart mentally. Despite the fact that they are a very experienced team, I mean, this has got to be weighing on their mindset for sure.
Oh, definitely. That's why I said if alternate can get off to a good start here on overpass with the pistol, maybe picking up this first gun round as well, then I definitely do favor them to go ahead and take that 2-0. You can see early on they're even willing to go for the aggression here in this opening gun round. Could be dangerous though, of course, because Slacks is currently alone. Bit of a wild spam into the smoke, hoping to return fire towards those tracers, but not really too much damage connected by either side. It's roughly an equal exchange. And with that, we do of course see Slacks deciding it's better to take a bit of a more passive angle, just backs off to the wall. Normally a position you play more so with the op, but the AUG definitely useful in this position also.
Well, nothing to be connected as Winstrike gained control of long. Start to close in the distance on that bomb site. Short control for alternate though certainly caused some problems. Bomb in. Presumably don't want to be sending all their players through long. Short's generally the most sought after part of the match. Indeed. Seconds on the clock. Forward. Starting to decide which put them in position. Put off some of the up Cressy again, get the short Molotov in. That's going to stop World.BET from peeking. But Cressy only has to worry about that smoke. Spans on through, gives away his position. Sadly, they follow the tracers, find a kill. World.BET onto Mantu. Boombla takes one as well. The bomb site is under threat. Dude, to get the spam kill, not going to happen now. Low on ammunition. Well, Mag pushes. Finds Vic. Gets out of there. Stefan with one. This round's going back and forth. The bomb hasn't yet been planted. Winstrike are in trouble. They don't have time anymore to get that bomb down. It's all over.
I don't know, Mitch. The round there that Winstrike were pretty much about to win. Couldn't let it slip away. Now they are actually in a bit of an awkward position. They have the 2 AKs in play at least. World.BET goes for a scout. Quick, not really going to invest too much. They do keep a little bit of money in the bank on a few players at least, but already the opening kill comes in. It's Slacks who quickly shuts World.BET down. The scout against the op, it wasn't really much of a battle either way, as World.BET didn't get much of an opportunity to do anything at all. And Stefan with the flash peaks monster to extend that lead even further, and denies the AK from being picked up as well. I was going to say Norbert should at least get that rifle for himself, but of course that was denied completely. Oh, and I think he may have just blown the AK towards himself just in case.
Well, this is certainly not the start that we wanted to see Winstrike have to really get back in the lead and in the winning mentality. Alternate attacks come into this as a team that have been developing over the last couple of months, now starting to flourish in this series for sure. An almost guaranteed 4-0 lead. Winstrike don't have a lot of money. They would love a bomb plant right now. Saving those weapons is not ideal because it forces them into force buying in the next round. Giving away that they're both towards Monster, though, makes it very difficult to make this push receive any value. They've used up their utility, only one Molotov to play with. Alternate smoking them out and making sure they get nothing on the back of the flashbangs that they expended. And now looking to split through Monster and Short. They're really not going to have the best of chances here. Molotov goes in towards the barrels to bait one out. Mantu, pushed to the open, is going to be dropped at least. Stefan still in position to watch the cross, and with 10 seconds left, Winstrike don't want to be dropped or forced into a position where they have to plant, so they'll carry these weapons forward, but consider the impact on the next round now, as 2 players get no money. Boombla, World Edit, and Norbert have to pretty much take the force buy. It's not the worst situation in the world for them. They will still get their AK-47s out, but it's the utility I'm really worried about, combined with the fact that they won't have an AWP unless Norbert glass cannons and drops it to World Edit as he purchases armor. That becomes evidently not the case. Interesting investment. They have 3 players double eco now, but 2 with money in the bank.
Ooh, did that just tag Quick down to 92? I'm not too sure if he actually did connect that through the corner of the wall. But yeah, it's, as you said, an interesting investment here. I honestly did expect them to just go for the full buy because they had enough to get the rifles out on everyone else as well. They would have had a bit of utility. But they've decided against it. A couple of weaker weapons in play, and eventually they do find 1 frag with the MP7. Problem is, of course, they lost a couple of players beforehand, so they are still working with a bit of a disadvantage of 4-on-3 for them to try and pull it back from, of course. But there's a positive. They've actually retrieved the second AK to work with now.
Cressy's been doing such a good job here on Short of just shutting them down again and again through those smokes as they attempt to gain a little bit of control towards the front of toilets. He's really been a thorn in their side. I mean, the man disadvantage, difficult enough to work with. Constantly being pushed onto the back foot. 2 AK-47s. Not a whole lot to work with, really, considering the utility in play. 3 smokes. They have no flashbangs to go in for peaks. And long range here, Mantu, the AUG doesn't connect the kill. Slacks does elsewhere, though. Mantu eventually finding that one. But is left last alive. Try and finish it off with a 4K, but it's not going to happen. The full ace, not possible. 5-0. Alternate attacks walk away with an almost flawless round. Again, consider the economy of the CT side and how it's building up. Even with utility purchased in this round, everybody is above 3K. Combined with 2 players on averaging 6. It's a very strong position to be in, securing yourself a solid, contingency plan if you're not able to find some of these rounds. And Winstrike, again, finding themselves the opening they were looking for this whole time. Slacks is down, AWP out of commission. Norbert actually taking a lot of damage as he tries to exit. He gets naded, he then gets shot through the wall. Stefan's watching his exit as well. This isn't going to be easy for him to get out alive. Luckily, he has an opening towards Connector to regroup with his team. 5-0, even with a man disadvantage. Alternate attacks are in a great position because of their economy and how it's built up.
Yeah, and this is actually a pretty decent setup over on long as well. Kill coming in on the other side of the map, though, in the meantime. Stefan able to take down one. That's a decent frag to be found. Still in a bit of an awkward position with the 4-on-4 even. Mantu getting aggressive there. That may actually bait Boomglitch into taking the peek around this corner. The problem is he doesn't have the assistance anymore, so he is actually alone facing this position. So needs to be careful. We'll just back off in the end, and it looks like Winstrike are preparing for what is going to be a B hit now. Bit of utility in play, some Molotovs, flashes, and a couple of smokes as well. And the first point of contact, as you can see, is Stefan. He's going ahead and claim the second frag for himself already, and that molly is going to massively delay things towards Monster now. Only 25 seconds remain in the bomb dropped, and they're yet to move into this B-bomb site.
Well, hopefully not going to play themselves against the clock again with 14 seconds. Pushing in means they have to commit to a bomb plant. 10 seconds on the clock. Boombliss should just be getting out of here and trying to save. The problem is they are everywhere surrounding him as he pushes in to try and find the frags. Dies, and I think that's an ideal situation. At least he does get his little loss bonus this round. And the kill leader, Cressy, they're on your screens. 7 for 2 right now, but it's the ADR that puts him miles ahead, 148. And it comes back to what we were saying, Dean, about his impact on the rounds they take it towards A. They have no chance on short.
Yeah, and you can see now the buy for Winstrike is back down to being kind of just spend the excess cash. They didn't get a bomb plant, sadly, meaning they couldn't actually get the full investment in this round. They have to go with a couple of weaknesses, really just going for the 1 AK and then some upgraded pistols, and obviously that utility that they do have, at least preparing themselves for what looks to be eventually a B here. But they are for now taking their time. Not too sure what Norbert's doing. He's just trying to stay out of the view of Monster for the moment, having a little bit of fun surfing side to side. Minute and 15 seconds, so they're not really in too much of a rush, but the problem is they don't have control really elsewhere on the map, so they don't know really what setup the CT side currently have, and we can see they do actually have 3 players already on this side of the map.
Stefan's going to be tested quite heavily. At least the smoke coming in helps him out a little bit. Means it's far less likely that Winstrike go for this right now, and with the time ticking down, they have to go eventually. Have to make a move on this. Mantu still has a Molotov, so if they fully push through Monster, this round could be over before it even begins. 30 on the clock. Molotovs come over. Now we're going to see the utility returned. And the spray from Stefan. He only finds one, though. This is dangerous now, approaching on the bomb site. Mantu's got to get the work done with the AUG. Spots them just about around the tiny little gap in the smoke, but not able to find a kill just yet. Finds one eventually, but again, the 1-for-1's looking great for Winstrike. Even though they don't walk away with the round win, they could have gotten a lot more done there with Dude on 18 HP. Round could have been a bit of a tragedy for Alternate's economy, and, you know, really bit into it a little bit more. But again, it's shallow reinvestment from Alternate aTTaX, keeping their banks full, and reinvestments possible for at least 2 rounds when they inevitably lose 1. Perhaps not inevitably based on how they're playing this. Winstrike down 7-0. It is the T side, so there's still time for redemption. But I'm starting to lose faith as time goes on. Alternate are just winning these rounds with dominance. It seems like nothing that Winstrike are trying is showing any fruit.
No fruit. Not sticking to the doctor's orders, Mitch.
Gotta say, I'm guilty of the same.
I like some fruit. Some nice grapes. Get some strawberries, chocolate, cream. Good night. You made jokes earlier. Am I not allowed to make jokes?
Oh, you're allowed to make jokes, but I hope you're ready to follow them through.
See you soon, Mitch.
I'm on my way.
Ooh, a little bit of trouble in the bathrooms yet again for Winstrike. There's body fluids everywhere. It's blood in this case, though.
Could be thinking about body fluids in bathrooms. Slacks comes in and takes Vic out. It's all Norbert. I mean, at this point, it's again the Cressy show on short. Just again and again, this dude is locking it down. Norbert has to win the full 1 versus 4. 4-piece needed. 23, 22, 21 seconds on the clock as he picks the bomb up. Bit of an awkward interaction. And now he just doesn't have time. Not that he would have if he picked it up 2 seconds earlier, but you know, again, Winstrike, they run the clock down a little bit, but it's just constantly trying to deal with these players, these impactful ones. Like specifically Cressy on short, Slacks playing back from the bomb site with the AWP as well. Happy to push in and help his teammate out a little bit more. It's just proven way too much for them to handle. CT setup is beautiful right now from Alternate, and as a tactical comes in, this is where Winstrike need to figure out what they're going for. Norbert saved over the AWP. They have money on the rest of the players except for World Edit, which means more than likely Norbert will be dropping that up to World and receiving something along the lines of a Galil or possibly even an SMG out of him. If they decide to full buy, that is.
Do they want to? They probably will, just because they have the op, but they have a couple players who can't get the full buy-in, so certainly not ideal. But of course, that's what the pause is for. They want to try and decide if they should go in for that buy or not. They are currently down 8-0, so they're in a pretty awkward position to say the least. I wanted to make a horrible joke there last one, but I thought it was a bit too much of a reach. I was going to say that Slacks was picking up the slacks in the bathrooms, which has so many different meanings, because he could be, you know, he's in the bathroom pulling up his trousers, he's picking up the slack. It's I wanted to make a joke, but I wasn't sure if anyone would get it. So I wanted to ask you, would that have been a good one or not, Mitch?
I don't think so. I think it was
No?
crisis averted.
Crisis averted, okay.
Oh, I like this decision. Okay. Well, I suppose it's still not too bad. An AWP and an AK bought up for the T's. Bondic buying the AK very late. Bit of a knee-jerk decision. Bit of a late call anyways.
Yeah, I mean, they have full loss bonus, so they're still going to get a complete buy in the next round, even if they don't get a bomb plant. So it's they did kind of go for the safe investment. The only thing is Bondic and Norbert would be pretty low on utility. They just barely get the rifles, pretty much. And of course, at this point, they need to start picking up some round wins. Again, they're approaching towards what seems to be the bathrooms, and Slack's in a similar position. Will he be able to hold it down yet again? He does also have some help from just behind him. Cressy staying very nearby.
Cressy doing things from behind in the bathrooms, at least by the looks of things early on. Flash goes over. Slacks is going to be full blind and taken down. Now it's on Cressy to do what he's been doing so far. 1 kill on the board and lots of damage as well. Presents an opportunity for his teammates. They have to close this out relatively cleanly as well. They don't want to lose too many rifles, because Winstrike have got a decent chance of finding kills. An AWP, an AK, and a Deagle in this situation. Ultimate need to be sure that they're finding these kills when they go out for the peak. Antu with the Molotov, making sure that the push won't come around this right side anytime too soon. And again, the clock being ran down, but it is just going to be the straight up duel. Dude finds it onto Bondic. It was so low. The wall bang even with the A1S. Certainly not an intended one. He was looking for the heads, but the bodies will do. Rotation down, I like this. Norbert going towards the B bomb site. They only have one player to contend with there. It is Stefan. Been doing a good job when challenged so far with an AUG and his position unknown. 8 seconds. That bomb has to be planted. They have to go straight in for it. Norbert is... Oh my god, his AWP got in the way. It blocked his vision of seeing Stefan. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, a little bit awkward. The view model, of course, could differ. Still very, very awkward.
No, he didn't react at all. I think the view model probably did block it. Because even as he got shot at, he was just like staring into space.
Not something that happens too often, in fairness. It's something you'd expect to happen in decent amounts, but it doesn't usually. Sadly, that time, things kind of just went against them, of course. An unlucky round in general. But yeah, 9-0 right now for Alternate. They're just looking so strong. They took the win back on Train, of course. That was the map choice of Winstrike, rather. And they come in here onto Overpass and show why they picked it. They're currently sitting with a pretty clean 9-0 lead. They've been taking some damage, so their economy isn't amazing. But still, they're in a great position. If they can bring this up to even 11 or 12 rounds on the CT side, then they're in a great spot to just try and pick up that victory pretty quickly once they swap over.
And again, look, Winstrike are getting nothing done here. They're 2 men down with no kills on the board. Still got their AWP and 2 AK-47s, but I mean, Just how convincing alternate attacks are in these early rounds, and then pulling back some of them where it maybe gets out of hand. This is really playing against them. Alternate playing super aggressive considering they've got had 5 players alive. Stefan pushing T-spawn. They've got right side monster control as well. These are very exploitable positions for Winstrike and definitely could offer them a way back. But with 27 seconds left, the push comes through. Mantu full blind with the spray down, finds Bondik. And with that, oh no, they actually pushed towards the A bomb site. I was going to say that should be the end of it. They don't have the bomb. There was no way the bomb could have made it up to A in time. So I don't really understand the decision to just throw yourself on A. Trying to reason it out. I mean, Fake started to rotate to A as well, so I don't really get it. They weren't playing to distract the B players because they'd already pushed into B. I don't know. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's really been overall a questionable game somewhat. But yeah, 10-0, double digits already for alternate. We're yet to see Winstrike pick up a single round. We're yet to even really, I guess, see them get too close to picking up a round either. They've never really took it down to maybe a 1v1 that we were thinking, okay, this is finally it. This is when Winstrike are going to get that round. It seems to have kind of come down to maybe 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s. It's always been favorable positions for alternate. Yeah,
indeed, and they've been working really hard to get those. I mean, we already mentioned Cressy doing a fantastic job. He's still up on 132 ADR, but the kill dispersion outside of him is just so tight-knit. Everybody is doing their job. Everybody's winning these fights. And the thing that's really surprising in this situation, though, Winstrike are making a couple mistakes. So we saw in the previous round, you know, maybe a bit of a communication breakdown where they push in late on. But the thing is, they're being pushed into this position where they're all scattered. They've got a 2-man disadvantage to work with. That's where players start to play their own game, play a very individual style to try and find the picks. Because alternate are so frequently opening up these rounds. So far, there's been 2 rounds where Winstrike have found the opening pick. 2. One of those was Slacks overextending a little bit with the AWP towards the top of the stairs and got picked off by World Edit. I can't even remember what the other one was. Push towards A. Cressy's going to do it again.
Oh, Cressy, how is he allowed to find 3 frags from that position? Again, a round that looked somewhat decent for Winstrike pretty quickly comes into a clean enough victory for alternate. They keep 3 alive. Cressy just able to play around through the smoke, as you can see her on your screens right now, and just pretty much lines up 3. Gets the initial one, at least lines up 2, does a bit of damage there before eventually being traded, but at that point it was only Bondik that was left alone. 11-0, it doesn't seem like really anything Winstrike are doing has been successful. They've tried lots of different things, they've been pretty versatile as well, and it doesn't seem like either of these bomb sites really have any weaknesses at the moment.
No, it doesn't look like there's any weaknesses at all for alternate aTTaX. Now the full buy from Winstrike, let's see what they can do with it. So far, they've certainly been underwhelming in these rounds. Peak comes in, that's good. World Edit finds it onto Slacks. He was expecting the peak, but not the elevated, the boosted peak. As he's dropped, a man advantage ensues for Winstrike. This is the 3rd round where they've had the opening kill so far, yet to connect any from there on out, as alternate have constantly been pulling it back. And there you go, Mantu up close, takes down World Edit, drops the smoke to keep himself alive. The flashbang's in play! The spray down through the smoke. He'd already spotted Boomla. He was trying to dance around the pole. None of that, says Mantu. None of that. Not having the pole dancing coming out here. Come on. It's like Batman. He's just hiding in the smoke as it fades. Just jumps out. I am the smoke. And look how spread out they are now. And like Norbert was trying to get the flank on. His whole team's dead pretty much. Bondik's got the ball moving towards A. So they can maybe turn this into a bit of a B fake. Norbert has a smoke and 2 flashbangs as well. Would have been the time to deploy those. I mean, he could keep himself alive for much longer and keep the distraction going, allow Bondik to get this bomb planted uncontested. He's going to attempt it to try and get a little bit more money for the next round, and he might just manage it, now forcing the time over into his favor. Going towards bank, but this is going to be expected. They know that he couldn't have gone towards long or truck in that amount of time. They know he's in bank at this point, and that's pretty much going to close the round out, I'd imagine, for alternate. They've got the info. All they have to do is drop their mollies, drop their smokes, and make sure they're watching it while the defuse goes through. Bondik's going to have a very hard time. But stopping it, DP's already, as you see, it's inevitable.
Nothing he can do. A little bit of extra money at this point, though. I don't think that's a big issue. It's 12-0 for Alternate. Best case scenario for Winstrike is that they manage to pick up 3 rounds here on the T side, and even then, that's looking very unlikely. So there's just very, very, very few positives I can find right now for Winstrike. They're just getting completely outclassed.
Yeah, indeed, they're certainly in a lot of trouble with 0 rounds on the board. I mean, the 12-3 is the best they can possibly manage. And Dean, you said, Alternate, we're looking to get us back on schedule. That might be the case. Stefan takes a second as well from the barrels, but it's trades. They know where he is now as they close in the distance. They don't know about his teammate. Dude and Stefan closing the B-bomb side all by themselves. Dude comes in with another. The double kills are all over the CT side, and Boomla arriving to the site. Thought his buddies were there. The party was supposed to be ensuing. The bomb should have been ticking away, but no, everybody's dead. And that's not the kind of party you want to be arriving to. Trust me.
Are you speaking from experience, Mitch?
Absolutely. The sole survivor.
Okay.
Nobody else was there. No one ever comes to my parties. But by that logic, everyone else was there. No one else was there.
I mean, fair enough.
Technically, everyone else was therefore dead that was there and not dead at the same time.
I mean, if there was no one there to be dead, how could they all be dead?
How could they be not dead?
But there was no one there to not be dead or to be dead. They're just none of the above. You're just lonely, Mitch. You're trying to make up fake friends, even if they're dead. Anything for attachment, Mitch.
Oh, that's a nice shot. Norbert down.
From me or from Slacks?
God damn it, Dean. Let me do my job. Like, Winstrike are behind by 2 again. Trying to make their way towards long. Flashbang goes in. Mansu's so ready for the double flash as well. Like, the read Alternate have right now. There's nothing Winstrike can do to the work, or is there? World Edit. Went up behind Sneaky Beaky like. He's going to go for the knife. He's going to do it. Yeah, you love to see it. AWP down. He's peeking out towards long, but the smoke's there. The bomb is well out of his possession. Swinging around with the AWP, looking for the no-scope. Doesn't find it. Doesn't find the scope one either. 42 seconds. He still has time to win this if they give him the opportunities. He's going to push through. It's not the best for his health.
Yeah, apologies. We were a bit off sync there, Mitch, so I was actually just trying to refresh, man. But yeah, that was interesting there. Nice try from World Edit. He gets the knife at least. That gives him a bit of extra money. Sadly, not going to give him an op, or at least if it did, it probably would have been glass cannon, so he did decide against it and went with the rifle instead. But at this point, Alternate leading 14-0. It would have been a buy no matter what from Winstrike, and really their only hope right now is, okay guys, we can at least stop this from being a 16-0. Let's pick up this round, and that's not looking too likely because they're running into what is a brick wall normally. It seems like Bondik has some karate training. He's able to break that with an elbow. It's a 4-on-4. Decent for Winstrike. Problem is they don't have a lot of utility, and even when we've seen them get these 1-for-1s early on, they've still struggled with actually getting onto the bomb sites. It seems like Alternate are just as happy to sit back and play passively. They're just as confident and just as comfortable.
Winstrike do no favors by letting the clock run down, even with the man advantages in play. It's a time and time again force them into positions they just don't want to be in, where they don't have control over the situation. Norbert trying to run along on top of his teammates' heads. He's going to find, or rather the AWP of Slacks is going to find one under World Edit. Now Molotov'd out though. He can't go in for a repeat. That takes Toilet's control, but Dude is left all alone on this bomb site. Very, very exposed position. Spamming away, finds one. Stefan with another as well, so this is, again, look, they find a 4v4, which should be a favorable position for Winstrike. But time and time again, Alternate pull it back. That is just incredible.
Yeah, some interesting movement there from Norbert.
I can't believe it. 15-0. I mean, we said this was going to be a more favored map for Alternate than Train. But this is just a whole nother level.
I mean, Cressy sitting at 19-6, Stefan 13-3, 14-6 on Mantu, 11-2, and 11-8. Slacks has died the most, but he's also been the one taking those gambles early on to get the opening frags, so he has been very useful. And as you can see, just blew all over the scoreboard right there. 15 rounds in a row. The goal right now for Winstrike is to pick up this pistol and stop it from being a 16-0. Definitely not how they would have wanted to have actually started off with this new roster. Of course, only bringing in Bondic. I believe this actually being their first match with him on the lineup. So it is still early days, but sometimes if you can get that strong start, it really boosts up the confidence for the roster.
I think one of... Oh.
LOOT.BET, made for live betting.
Alrighty. Now I can talk. Now we're good. I think one of the...
I mean, you can, but you shouldn't, Mitch.
Okay. See you later.
I'm only messing. You're okay.
One of the factors...
I'm bullying you now.
I know. Now? Only now? Are you sure about that?
Don't tell anyone.
One of the interesting factors is at the halftime, the lowest fragger for alternate attacks is 11 kills. The top fragger for Winstrike is 9, and nobody's close behind him. So, I mean, it's just Winstrike not hitting their shots. They're being dismantled, but alternate also outplaying them on a map and team level as well. Winstrike now, if they lose this pistol, it's all over. At this point, you pretty much have to say the game's over. And 15-0, I've never seen a comeback from that. I've seen 14-1 on Overpass. I have seen a comeback from that. It's an overtime victory, but...
Oh, last bullet from Slacks. That was impressive right there. I think we may be slightly out of sync, sadly, so I'll let you take the end of this round.
Yeah, I'm way behind here. I think we hit by a little bit of lag, but it looks like it's going to be all over with Boomla on just 26 HP. Creeping forward, dropped by a double peak, and that's the end of it. 16-0. Well, I honestly